Dana, Jeanette, Winnie B.
Welcome in, everybody. Shall I uncover us?
Sure.
Ready? Cheese!
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. Happy Sunday. How's everybody over there in Texas and over there in Tennessee?
I'm doing good. Happy Sunday.
Oh, feedback.
Over there in Texas.
Is that me? There. Sorry, that was me. I had to pull up my phone to see the chats.
Tennessee is drying up.
Oh,
I
nice.
I guess parts of it are not so good.
No. We got lucky.
Hello, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
As you can see, I have a different background. I've moved over to this desk. The desk behind me on this side is where I was, and the wall behind me is under construction. There will be plants.
Shelving? Oh, plants.
Yes.
It looks nice. I like it.
There's just wires and stuff all over the place. I just didn't trust the shelf anymore after my shelves fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So it's just got some light decor on it over here. And my closet door's open. You can see shelves and shelves of bags in there. And that's just one side. So that's why I'm always saying I need to get rid of bags before I get bags.
I'm glad your power is back and you're staying dry as well.
Yes. It went off yesterday for a while too. But looking at the news a little bit, looking at some footage that I saw on YouTube, wow, some other parts of the country are really suffering. Hi, Christiana. Hi, Jennifer. What's Nothing But Bags' first name? I don't remember.
Liz. Hey, Liz.
Liz. Okay.
Yeah, that bridge in Asheville, North Carolina that ruptured. That's what really hit Tennessee hard, was all the water.
Hi, Veronica.
Hey, Veronica.
Is everybody ready for their coach?
Mine is in transit.
I haven't opened it yet, but it's in one of those awful packages. You know what I'm talking about, Jackie?
You have to open them the exact way you're supposed to, or it's going to get everywhere.
That's opened outside over a garbage can.
I always cut it with scissors, and then I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. As soon as I snip, I'm like, well, it's too late now.
You have to pull the little tab. It has a tab.
I know, but I always forget.
Yeah, me too. Every time. It's like, and every time I do it with scissors, I'm like, oh, I forgot.
And of course, Craig had a Craig moment and he got distracted, squirrel, and did not complete the purchase. So mine is in transit as we speak. So maybe it'll come this week.
Well, we decided on the 13th, right?
Yeah, I should have plenty of time. But it's a Craigism, like squirrel. I was distracted and never went back to it.
What are you drinking, Jackie?
Tea, just wonderful black tea. But look at my cool mug.
It is cool. I love Snoopy. I love Snoopy.
And I love this one because he's actually running like a dog does. Normally you see Snoopy sitting, standing, walking, but not running.
I have something sitting up here behind me. See if I can get my finger on it. See the little box? You recognize that, Jackie? The little yellow box way back there in the back?
Well, I see a yellow box. I have no idea what it is.
I went through the McDonald's drive-through just to get a Crocs. So that's an unopened Croc box. So I don't know what color it is. Well, I don't know what color it is or anything. I'm not going to open it because that's part of the giveaway. I'm going to put a mystery purse in there, and then that's going to be the tag that goes with it. Should I ever reach 1,200?
Well, Craig has bought so many Happy Meals trying to get a Croc and has yet to get a Croc.
They don't put a Croc in your Happy Meal?
I have a spare. I'll send you this one.
I
Dee
think
Dee said she was gonna. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Greg's been asking for the unhappy meal.
Listen, I know for a fact because this points out in my brain that I got 4 empty, no toys, and then the rest of them were like some random chintzy. Like I don't need that mess. So like I want the crock, and they're like, oh, we don't have those, or we're out of it. You're
Okay.
McDonald's. How are you
Out of
out
it?
of the toy?
Sure. They're out of the toys.
Unless the employees are taking the crocks home with them, and that's why there's empty Happy Meals.
Okay. I'm gonna start
Maria.
now. So
ADD.
if I missed you, let's start doing this.
So with our book this week, am I the only one that it really is relevant to the times we're in?
No, you're not the
It
only
is
one.
absolutely relevant. Totally. A little too topical, to be honest. A little too topical. It made me angry.
And Jackie, I think the reason you really got it this time around is because of the times we're living in. Because it's an allegory, right? So you really associated with it.
Yes. At the end of it, I cried. I did.
I almost did.
I
don't
just
have
sat there with
teardrops.
it, like, oh my god.
I feel like we're going through a civilization, and we're like, we're just idiots. This is where the disclaimer comes in, people. I am not holding back on this live. It's like we keep doing the same things over and over. In college, I did a lot of people take psychology. Well, I take sociology, and I wanted to take anthropology, which is the study of human migration and movement, right?
We have the same because I did too.
Yeah.
I took a little bit of anthropology and a little bit of sociology. They were much more interesting. Psychology was interesting, but sociology and anthropology are more interesting because it involves more people. You're not just trying to get into the head of one person. So yeah.
It was like and of course when Orwell wrote this, it was a commentary in like an allegory, and I think the book I had a intro talking about is listed as a fairy tale. It is a fairy tale. It's a cautionary tale, and it definitely is a fairy tale. And it was commenting on the Soviet Union, specifically in communism. And he didn't live long enough to see the fall of that, I believe. I think he died prior to the fall of communism, but if you look at that book and relate it to what actually happened to the Soviet Union, oh yeah, totally. It's like a prediction book.
It is.
Oh, and we're in our political times we're going through right now are not. It's relevant. I'll just say that because I don't want to put any. I don't want my political opinions to be. It was relevant. That's all I want to say.
Well, I don't have to talk about what your political opinions are. It's really just like a commentary on social people in society getting together. So these animals, as I jump right into the meat and bones of this book, they rebel. They say, I do not want to be controlled by our dictator who is, Farmer Jones, whatever his name was, Farmer Jones.
Right.
And he's like, we want to control and govern ourselves. We do not want this person to tell us what to do. And if you know, and I think Orwell picked a farm, particularly animal farm, because it was in the time period people had a lot of farms. Now, in today's world, it would not be, most people don't associate how husbandry of animals, of farm animals, what you do on a farm. It's all foreign because we don't have that many small farms anymore. Most people don't live in a rural area with a farm, so it might be lost. And I think that's what was lost on me the first time I read it in my 20s. Was that I couldn't really associate what is involved with the management of a farm and a homestead, and now looking at it as a little fiefdom, and this is a little country, and taking it out of just a farm and into just a society of these animals, and they threw out the dictator, which happened in the 1900s to a lot of monarchies. You can see what happens.
Well, that too, and your mindset in your 40s and 50s is a very different mindset than in your 20s. You've lived through more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I come from farmers, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing was disturbing. from the time they took the farm to, and you knew it was going to happen. You could just feel it coming, you know, and the book just got sadder and sadder. Utopia, yeah.
But you could
But I
see
mean,
it. You could see it crumbling as at every chapter. The farm was crumbling and becoming. You know what I mean? Like it was. You could see it happening.
And then you've got the little pig that would come out and tell everybody what's really happening, and it was all lies, you
Hmm.
know.
it's the whole revisionist story concept as time goes on, because we have short attention spans, and it's even shorter now. And what the book really showed is, and I'm just going to do a real quick overview so people who haven't read the book get the whole gist right now. So in Animal Farm, there's a farm who's run by Farmer Jones. He's not a good farmer, but he's very much a strict farmer, and the animals think we can run this better. And this is kind of propelled by the pigs in the farm. So there's horses, there's donkeys, there's chickens, the poor chickens, the labor force, and then the one horse. Oh gosh, what's his name? He's in the book for most of the book. Anyway, beside the point,
The big horse, the big strong horse.
You can associate this to labor groups, and this is I didn't see this when I was in my 20s. In my 40s,
I'll work harder.
It's so glaring. You have the sheep. The sheep are grazing, docile, and they'll do what they're told. So the pigs throw out the farmer. The farm they take over the farm. They say nobody's living in the house. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. We're gonna have this whole song of patriotism, and we're gonna say humans are not okay. Wings are okay. 4 legs and wings are good, but at some point that's too hard for people to remember, so it just goes
just
4
the
legs
sheep.
to 2 legs.
The sheep need simple things to remember. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? They just keep repeating the moniker: 4 legs bad, 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Sounds familiar. And the leader's name was Napoleon after they ran Snowball out, or whatever his name was.
Yeah. The lead pig is named Napoleon. It's very apropos. But in the very beginning, the altruism is we throw out the dictator. We're not going to do anything that involves humans. We're not going to live in the human house. Everybody's equal. Everybody works equally. Everybody has the same amount of stuff. It is the true manifesto of what we want the society to be like, and it's just a reflection on what happened in the Soviet Union and when they threw out their monarchy, right? So here we go. They're doing this in the beginning. The first year is awesome. Everything's great. The biggest harvest. We're so great. We work as a team. We are awesome. And then slowly, as the years progress, it goes into the pigs, because they're this more intelligent beings, they become the thinkers, and they say we're the planners and the thinkers. We're going to just organize the labor force, which is everybody else, and we're going to be the ones that tell you how to do it. And everybody else, because even though the pigs have taught themselves to read, they've tried to teach the other animals how to read, but their attention span or retention is too low. So some can read, most can't read. So it's an oral tradition. They have a list of commandments, very appropriately called commandments. I really do like the word choices that Orwell used.
Yes.
He used all these words on purpose. He ever called it wasn't friends, it was comrades.
Comrades.
So in case you weren't clear enough that we were actually commenting on the Soviet Union and communism in general, we're saying comrades, and my name is Napoleon. I mean, it was very well done. And the commandments, because of the Christianity aspect in our society, that there's the 10 commandments, and we're used to having a bunch of rules, and even most charters, human rights, most parliamental, everything has a rule structure. Sorry.
Boxer was the horse. Yes, Boxer the cart horse. And thank you, Christiana. And they kept revising the commandments on the wall at night.
Indigenous history.
Just a mystery how they kept changing the rules.
I had to pause this so many times. It made me so angry because it's like when somebody is saying, but I was there, I saw the battle of what, and I saw this person, he really fought for the people. He was at the battle of the barn shed or whatever it was called.
Yes.
And he was a hero. And they're like, oh no, he wasn't a hero. He was a spy. He was always working for the humans, And it's like, because, and they even, not only did they have the pigs doing. They have the poor chickens on like a union of production, like a labor.
Yes.
They have a quota system that is insane, and then you have the sheep that are being pretty much like the people telling people, oh, this is how we should do it. And then you have the poor pigs. Well, not the poor pigs. These pigs are masterminds at this point. They're the ones trying to determine everything, and they're slowly revising everything because people can't read and they don't remember because they just believe, oh, we're doing this together. We're all equal. Of course, I believe you. You're one of us. You're an animal. You're not a human. Of course I believe you. And then, yeah, and over time, as the book progresses and things happen, yeah, that's not how this ends.
Well, what really stuck out to me and hit home is they wanted out from under the farmer because they wanted freedom, right? Yet they ended up with another dictator that told them everything they could and could not do.
More strict than the Farmer Jones, like more strict. The production and labor at the end of it was like just awful. It's like when you read it like when you're working for yourself, you have this desire to succeed because you get rewarded for your hard work. You see that I have done something and I can get this achievement and I've earned this. Or you work in a group where everybody is equal, gets the exact same amount. It doesn't matter if you worked 7 days and that other person worked 2 days. You get the same paycheck. And that's essentially what they did to these animals. And there was a couple animals that were the cat who didn't want to work ever, who every time there was work to do was missing. And then I mean, and I work in an office and everything's supposed to be team and collaborative. I'm like, yeah, I know that cat. I know a lot of people like that cat. And Molly, who was very much into, I want the pretty bows, I want the attention, the horse, the
vanity pony that pulled the little thing for what do they call it? It's not a carriage. There was another name for it. See how well I retain knowledge? Anyway, the whole thing, the sheep just got me though. They weren't smart enough to read because they could only learn monikers. And it was like, they could only learn these 1-line things or 2-line things. And it just was so familiar as to what's happening right now.
Did we like the whole raising of the police state that they ended up with because they took the dogs and trained them to be attack and guard dogs for the pigs, and the pigs happened to just move into the house because this house is okay now. You know, now that the Farmer Jones is, it's okay, you know. And then anybody would bring up the fact of, didn't we say this is wrong? Didn't we say we weren't going to live in a house and we weren't going to associate with humans and we're not going to trade with them? What happened to animals first and people never, you know? And
animals will not sleep in beds with sheets.
Yeah. I love that. With sheets. But the blankets are okay, just not the sheets.
They kept changing it. Oh, at the end of the book, though, I was just like, yeah, that's so true, man. That's so true.
But it's seriously an excellent, I would definitely call it a fairy tale. It's a most fairy tales are cautionary tales. And most people think fairy tales are Disney. It's not right. Fairy tales are Mother Goose, the Grimms, they're all cautionary. Hansel and Gretel is about staying on the path. They'll get off the path and don't take stuff from strangers. You know, or bad things happen to you. That is what happens in fairy tales. Like the Big Bad Wolf with Little Red Riding Hood. You know, if you look at the deeper meaning of the Grimm's fairy tales, they're not supposed to be happy, joyful things. They're supposed to be kids behave, or this is what will happen to you.
Well, after you finish reading the book, you can kind of see why it's a banned book in many states, because we don't want people to see what's really going on. And the book really brings out what's going on in your real life. Like you know what I mean?
It does. We deserve more because we're the thinkers. We're going to build this windmill on the backs of your labor and give you less and less, you know, for your own belly. And it just went on and on and on from there.
And in my mind, as I was reading it, I was associating with things that are happening within the last just like 10 years. I'm like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, now I see why it's banned in certain states. Like they don't want people to
totally get it.
See it.
Here's the thing: I don't think people would really, school-age children would have any relevance. They would just, oh, it's just a good story, whatever, you know. I don't think it would hit, you know.
It would hit if
Oh,
the teacher pointed it out. It would hit, but you would be surprised at this new generation due to social media, yada yada yada. They think a lot more than I think my generation did when I was that age, because there's a lot more thrown at them every single day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because when I was a teenager, I only knew what my parents told me and what my teachers told me. I didn't seek knowledge anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? And now
right.
everybody's always
Oh,
on
yeah.
social media looking, looking, looking.
Mhm.
So
You
And
can't hide as
and
much
just
stuff.
in case anybody wasn't here when we were talking about this before, it took something for me to get the book. It's banned in Florida, so when I ordered my copy from Amazon, it was a really cut down, changed version, and I ended up getting an old used version off of eBay so that I could read it.
yeah, you can't even get it on
Wow.
Audible in your state, which I thought was really poignant.
Yeah, because I got that off my Audible for free. You
I
know,
did too.
there's-
So when
Yeah.
you're reading a banned book that's talking about where did all the 9 puppies go? The pigs hid them away and trained them to be their guard. Yeah, it
Mhm.
kind of hit home.
a lot of
A
it
lot
hit
of it
home.
did,
It just
yeah.
made me angry. I
And I was,
never have been, and I picked this book. It's angry at a book because it's so true, and we're just repeating it. We're just repeating it.
when I finished reading it, I read it twice, by the way. I read the condensed version and then I read the full version, and the amount of content that was pulled out for the condensed version kind of made me sick to my stomach, to be truthful. But it made me. When I finished the full length version, I was like, I think we need to do a more of a light-hearted book for the second month, and then we'll go to 1984,
Yes.
because
I
that was
agree.
if you were paying attention to the book and you associate it with your life today,
Yeah.
it was really deep. It was
It
a
was
deep book.
upsetting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was very upsetting.
like maybe for October and November we pick lighthearted books, and maybe in December we can pick something heavy again. Let's get
I'm
through
totally-
this election cycle.
Yes.
I'm down for
Nothing
that
that's going to
because
associate the election cycle, because Animal Farm sure does.
and I'm going to tell you guys
It's too on
this.
point.
Yes,
I
correct.
am so obsessed with this election. I'm not going to put any political stuff out there.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with it. I can't stop looking. So I am way behind on YouTube videos because I can't stop looking at the election.
Same.
Yeah.
It's
So,
hard for me to
Chris,
keep up.
did both versions. What did they take out of the condensed version that you think was, vital?
So the biggest thing in the condensed versions with all violence was removed. So when they decided that I can't remember I have brain issues, but
Yeah.
when the animals did something that the dictator, I don't know what his name was. What was the main the animal that was in
Napoleon.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
When they did something that was wrong, you know how you put them to death? You
Oh,
did
yeah.
several right there
Mhm.
back to that's not in there at all. So the condensed version doesn't really make sense if you read it.
Yeah, because if he wasn't murdering everybody, it wouldn't make sense.
Well, and the end's different. You just pick up because you can get the condensed version on Audible. And Jolie, I think you can get the condensed. Well, you have the condensed version, right?
That's the one I listened
have the
to, is
condensed version of the book. I have the condensed version of the book, but I did not read it, and I just read the main.
Well, read the condensed version after it. It's much lighter. You'll see the differences, and immediately it's like within the first chapter there are differences.
One day I'll
Okay.
read the uncondensed version, but the condensed version made me angry enough.
Yeah.
Oh, you read just the condensed version?
I think so. That's what was on Audible. Whatever was
Okay,
on
well,
Audible is what I
okay.
Well,
got.
they're both
You-
on Audible.
Yeah, they're both on
Uh.
Audible. But here's a question for you. Did the dogs rip out the throats of the animals who confessed?
No.
No.
Okay.
I
yeah.
got the condensed version. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
read the full version, it's a very different beast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
So
try
Jackie-
it.
Jackie Jackie's having all this emotional turmoil, and she just read the condensed version. Wait till you read the whole book.
Yeah, it's like nope. It is. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I was in Europe after the fall of the Soviet Union, and I've seen a lot of what the aftermath of that was and what happened with the countries recovering from that. And it's when you look at geography and over time, politics, boundaries change all the time, and it's normally always over resources and access, mostly to water, because water is for commerce is a big deal still today, even with flight. Water is still a big deal. For natural resources and space, we need more space. Yeah,
The water is on the list of one of the next things that we will go to war over, I guess. In the future.
Absolutely. If you look at the water right issues here in Texas,
a lot of situations arise just over sheer narcissism and wanting more power.
Yeah.
This book's out of date, but this is a good book to read. It's called Cadillac Desert, and it was written a while ago, and it's about the division of the Colorado River, the water. It is intense, especially if anyone's living in California. Read it. I hope they've done an update to it, but they probably haven't, because it's even more politically difficult to get anything published anymore.
Right.
It was a really good book because the waterways are stop. What were you gonna say, Jolee?
Oh, I started reading a lighthearted book after I finished that book that really made me feel bad. It really did. Which was what it was supposed to do. So I have to look it up because it has a long name. But I'm reading The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches.
That sounds like it's right up my alley. That sounds like a good book for this month.
Yeah.
Do you know what Audible suggested to me after finishing Animal Farm? They're like, okay. So I'm like, maybe. I don't think I could take that one right now.
What was it?
Lord of the Flies.
Oh, no.
That's such a good book.
I don't need another it's a great book, but maybe in January.
I kind of remember a concept of the book, but I think that was 6th grade. We had to read the Lord of the Flies.
And they made a film of it, and it was a pretty good movie, but it was nothing compared to the book. That's another one that's like you will correlate that with your current times.
Oh, then it's probably banned in my state.
Probably.
It might be. It really might be. And it was another British author, I believe, if I remember correct. Whoa. So what's the name of this book, Jolee? Send me a link. I'll do the witches.
This is just, we can put it on the list. That this doesn't have to be the book this month.
Right.
The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Sorry,
well, if you're already reading it, let's just all dive right in there with you. That'll be the book of the month. No, why not? You're already ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
go look for it right now.
Well, I'm on my phone, so I can't do anything at the moment. The Secret Society.
I was going to suggest On Tyranny, but that's done by a college professor, and it just basically lays out what happens when a society falls into authoritarianism. It's just a pamphlet. So if anybody wants to get it and read it on their own, it's called On Tyranny.
Okay, well, the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches is written by Sangu Mandanna.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Madonna?
say that.
But yeah, Madonna. Sangu, Sangu, and her last name is Madonna, and it's on Audible. It's a 10 hour read. I'll buy it. I'll go for fun. We go for lighthearted,
Speaking of lighthearted, did everybody watch the movie of the week?
I watched half
what
of
was
it.
the movie of the week? What was the movie? I didn't even know we had a movie of the week.
Girl,
The Deliverance.
The Deliverance on Netflix. It is. It's something. It's something.
I have to. I watched half of it. And
I watched Deliverance a long time ago.
I was watching it alone recently. And in the dark.
No.
In the
not
hotel
Deliverance. Not Deliverance. It's the Deliverance.
It's got Glenn Close.
It's a new movie.
Oh. Okay, I haven't seen it. Mhm.
It's on Netflix.
I was watching. I was real because I'm a horror movie junkie, right? So I was watching. And I was like, "Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good." But when Glenn Close comes back, the demon changes to look like Glenn Close.
I didn't
Did
get
you,
that far.
girl? Bye. Okay. She says some of the most foul things, and I'm like, "How the hell did that make it to final cut of this movie?" Because like it's a very offensive things.
I mean, I got past the point where one of the kids was trying to drown the other kid, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what?"
Oh yeah, you missed a lot. It gets a lot worse than that.
You
But
read
it's
the
really
real
good.
story, Christiana? Oh,
Yeah, it's supposed to be based on a
The
true
horror
story.
I'll watch the rest of it today.
So
But
what's the
it's sometime this
storyline
evening.
on that movie?
It's a possession story of a family that's living through a possession.
Yeah, no, I don't do horror like that. I'll read the book, but
Well,
I won't watch the movie.
it's based on a true story, and they did a good job between the book and the movie. That's one thing I will say about Netflix. They don't edit out a lot when they do a book into a movie. It's pretty much it's all there.
That's what was even more disturbing about it. I mean,
When you know it's a true story and
yes,
just the vile things that we say and do to each other because
but
they like
kudos to Glenn Close because I've never seen her play a role like that, and she was so believable. She always is.
I love how she can just completely change. She changes her appearance for every single role she does.
Right. Like
Me and
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, Travis and I watched a movie that she did on Netflix a couple, I think a year or so ago. Anyway, it's about J.D. Vance, his life story.
Yeah.
And what
The author?
hillbilly something. Anyway, you can just type in J.D. Vance on the search bar; it'll pull it up.
Right.
But she did a phenomenal job in that movie too.
I believe I will watch that.
But I will
Okay.
tell you, just by watching that movie, it's not going to put his. It's not going to make you see him in a different light. It's just going to, confirm some things for you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or it did for me anyway.
The
Let me rephrase.
hillbilly
It
who
did for me.
did he go to
Hill-
Yale? He's a Yale graduate, isn't he? Is it Yale or Harvard?
Or Yale. I think it's Yale.
I think it's Yale.
Hillbilly. Travis is telling me the name. Hillbilly Elegy is the name of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize he had written a book about his life, but yeah, they turned it into a movie. Yes, that's it right there. Christiana typed it in.
Okay, so are we really making the book of the week the one of the fantasy book that I just said about the witches?
I'm fine with it if everybody else is, because I want something very lighthearted that I can't associate with my time.
Yeah, this is lighthearted because it's totally fake. So
Animal Farm, totally, literally, I have never had to pause the book so much, and to know that I was listening to the condensed version.
See, for me, if we had done this 6 months ago and we had started it, still would have had meaning to me. I would have associated it with times in the past, but to me, I associated it heavily with what we're going through right now, and I was like, I can't do this. Because I'm watching all the election stuff, and then I'm reading the book at the same time, and I'm like, oh god, it's too much.
And you see the same tactics. That's the thing. It's the same tactics used today on the masses of population. It's the same propaganda. It's the same stuff happening, and it's just like, and you look at it, you're like, man, we're idiots. And that's how I felt. That's just how I felt. I'm like, I felt so stupid. I'm like, because I knew the book, I've read the book, I've seen this, I've studied history, I've looked at some of the rise and fall of civilizations. We talk about economy and what's a good type of economy, and we have all these debates. And then you look at history, like we keep doing the same dang thing over and over
and
again.
over. Yeah.
And that's like Christiana said, people don't change.
Only thing that changes is the environment that the people are in. That's it.
I have a coworker right now that we have like a little bit of control and power has gone right to their heads and are looking at this like he'll get over it.
There's one time that I told a nurse who, let's just say she was telling me to do the thing that I was standing there already doing. I don't know if you guys find that annoying, but I do.
I find it a lot more than annoying. It's asinine.
And I said to her, being in charge does not mean being a bitch, just in case you were wondering.
And you did the
And
right
that's like the
thing.
thing too. It's like my work environment is a lot like Animal Farm in many regards because I work in the public sector, but I did work in the private sector, which is completely different. And in the public sector, there's this like whole equal thing, and everybody has to have these very narrow rules, and there has to be this type of how you get your contracts out there, who can apply for contracts. There's like but we can't. It's so over bloated that we can't streamline it to update to technology so that we can fix things to make it a little bit more make sense and for today's technology, right? So
Right.
and then I'm reading this book and I'm like, oh, this is like my work life, this is like my political life, this is like life right now in general. This is life. And I don't want to be the sheep, but I am the year of the sheep, and yeah, I'm the black sheep in the group.
Well,
The black sheep. You're not the black
to put
sheep.
it in a
You mean at work.
perspective, we're all sheep, even though we think we're not. If you have to
Oh,
conform because it's the law, you have to conform, right?
Yes.
Therefore, we are all sheep. You can bitch and moan all you want to, but you still have to do what they tell you to do.
I'm not an anarchist, okay? I'm not going out. I'm not what's the word for criminals, vigilantes that think they're doing something righteous but they're still breaking the law, you know.
Yeah, I'm not built for
That cracks me up. It's like, let's do this in a corporate way, yes. But this was standing alone. This was standing just the two of us in an instrument room. So I'm like, nobody's around.
All right.
Well, this is how
That's when I run
even
into
Star
people.
Wars is very much like Animal Farm, and this is what I love about science fiction and things like Animal Farm is they're using social issues, excuse me, and couching them in a way that isn't directly on the nose but adjacent, so that people read it and think it's fun. But if you look at the Empire and the Republic in Star Wars, it's the same thing.
It is.
And I've always told James is always the Republic. And I said, James, you know I'm the evil Empire, right? He goes, what do you mean? I'm a rules follower. I want to follow. That's the overarching power. The Republic is one planet rebelling against this entire galaxy that's run by the Empire. You know I'm the evil Empire.
Well, if you watch any kind of...
Everybody's got a thing for Darth Vader.
Yeah.
If you watch any movie, really, like a movie of any kind of substance, it correlates with time. I mean, all you have to do is think for 5 seconds.
Even all the cowboy westerns that used to be like the cowboy western, Spaceballs, those especially, the satire movies, those are making fun on purpose. People who don't get it just don't get it.
Spaceballs is
like
awesome.
Old Cowboy, Black Hats, White Hats, all those cops and robber movies, all those, they all are a social commentary. There's a whole lore behind the Wizard of Oz. It's directly related to the social times when it was written. Before it's a very, there's a whole there's an analogy against the Yellow Brick Road, which I think was supposed to be sterling silver, something about anyway, there's a whole, I'm a little out of date with my movie lore, but there's more than just a good story. It's what makes it a good story is that it's close enough but not the same. It's close enough that you can identify the themes, you can see it, but you're like, oh, but this is why I always get surprised when people say, I love dystopian novels or movies. I'm like, really? I don't.
I do.
Because
they do make me sad for a minute afterwards, but
well, you know, that's why
I like it.
That's why a lot of directors, producers, screenplay writers, authors, that's why they win a lot of awards that have nothing to do with their actual field that they worked in, because they're the ones that are trying not to be sheep and still stay within the law. They're the one pushing the boundaries. and saying what really everybody's feeling, but they're saying it.
Right. Humanitarian awards.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Mhm. Oh gosh, and that's the other thing about the state of the world right now. Because I was listening to Super Jacob, and when I was in his pre-show, and we were talking about some things that are happening because politics are everywhere right now, especially with. I don't care which state you're in. Because this is the election where everything gets voted into. Because people don't really vote for non-presidential elections, but people will come out to vote for presidential elections. So they throw
Right.
everything in there they can, right? They want every
They do.
bill, every prop. They want everything to go through there, so people will just say something, just vote anyway. We don't care, just vote so we can get this stuff passed, right? So, and then Jacob was looking at, he's just like angry right now because he's trying to get
Yes.
some things happening, and I should shut up because what stays in the pre-show is in the pre-show.
Well, the thing
But
of it
there was a
is,
point to be
was
saying
that
all
in the
this.
pre-show? I couldn't remember what was in the pre-show and what wasn't. But I'm
Yeah.
right now trying to go through the Florida prompts, and I understand the anger because it's very hard to disseminate what they mean.
Mhm.
You've got to have an English major to understand the difference between yes and no.
Yeah, because it's not yes and no. It's not the one sentence blurb they put on there.
That's all you get to pick is yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
But to understand whether or not you're picking yes or no, you've got to be an English major to read through it all.
The language is couched in a way that your yes actually votes no.
Yes.
That's a lot. A lot of that's language that way, and that's what lobbyists do, and that's what that is written. That I mean, language. Ooh.
That's why I always say when it comes to politics, I don't ever say my exact position. I just say I pick between the lesser of two evils because you're never going to get a full story from either side. So I just pick the lesser of two evils. But I do my research to figure out which one that is.
I'm doing that right now. There's 3 props I'm trying to get through. Yeah.
Well, it's like also with like every person you're picking, everybody who's campaigning. Now, the people who are campaigning ironically have experience. A lot of times you have people who are not presidential campaigns, like just politicians in general, first-time politicians. They can campaign and say whatever they want because that's what they think they're going to do. That's their platform. And they get into the position and they realize, oh yeah, the stuff I campaigned on, so I was going to do, I can't actually do it. But the people who are actually running right now both have experience and both actually know what they can and cannot do. That's what's making it very interesting. It's like really? That's what you're going to talk about?
I think one of them might not exactly have an idea of what they can and cannot do, but that's just my opinion.
Say it again. Girl, bye. Say it again.
Technically, they're supposed to have known. Once currently and once formally. They're experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching TikTok before the live started, right? And yeah, I'm living on TikTok right now because there's a lot of political chatter on TikTok. And a lot of it, most of it's not mindless. They have experience and they know what they're talking about. But,
right.
I might have to download TikTok because YouTube's not talking about it because we're not allowed to.
YouTube is talking about it. There's a lot of programs that you can watch.
But TikTok is unmonitored, basically. You can they can say what they want to say. You know how YouTube.
I don't have TikTok. Maybe I'll get it. So I'm sorry, Craig. Go ahead.
I might have forgotten what I was saying. Hang on.
This morning, watching TikTok.
Somebody pointed out this morning. So you cannot be a convicted felon and vote, right? It's illegal. You can't do it.
Right.
But you can be a convicted felon and run for president. You can be president. You just can't vote for one. What the hell?
Isn't that amazing?
And then of course,
going back to Animal Farm.
Exactly. This is how Craig's brain runs. It don't run a lot, but when she exercises, she's exercising, right? So I go down a rabbit hole and I'm like, okay, they literally have said that he can run the country from prison. It will be okay.
Yes. And an interesting thing, I wrote that. I'm sorry. I'm not too. I'm not too veiled on my opinions. Obviously, any of you that are friends with me on Facebook know that. But how do 12 people agree on 34 things?
Hello.
Down to the T.
Is it
Agree on 34 things down to the T.
It's
I
36
think
now,
it
though.
two people to
Is it
degree.
36?
Let alone-
Yeah, he's up to 36 felony counts now.
Just amazing.
Did you see that the city of Springfield, Ohio, has filed a lawsuit against him and
They
filed
need
charges
to
against him?
because there were over 50 bomb threats. This is costing them all of their money in emergency support for that city. Him taking
Wow.
down their bank account for his own enjoyment is not funny to me.
No.
That he's messing with people's lives now and livelihoods because they're not
And
going to be
Ohio-
able to afford to pay their people who respond to emergencies.
Right.
It's
And Springfield, Ohio actually has a law that if someone has done something to you, an individual can file charges against that person. And then it goes
that's
to their
good.
then
On
it goes
behalf
to their
of.
it goes to their municipal court, and then they'll decide to put out a bench warrant for them or not. And so there's an organization there that basically they govern over the refugees from Haiti, right? That's what they do.
Right.
And there were so many threats and so many. Anyway, they filed charges against
Those people.
yeah, and it went to municipal court, I think, on Friday. So we should know this week, but he's costing that city a lot of money just by mindless chatter.
Yes. And, well, he doesn't, some people don't understand how what they say can affect other people, nor do they care. And it could have been your town. It could have been Jackie's town. It could have been my
do you
town.
remember,
He's now looking at all these bills.
after what was that? The bombing that happened in Ohio? Not Ohio, Oklahoma. Way back,
the Murrow
long
building.
time ago.
I know
And-
because I used to go to that building when I was in the Air Force.
Yeah, so what happened was because of all that, people were calling, and I was working for the private sector at the time. This was a long time ago, and people kept calling in threats into the building, saying, "Hey, I heard blah blah blah." And every time that happened, they shut down the building. Everybody had to leave, and they had to sweep the building. To the point that they said that if this happens, and this happened a lot, it wasn't like 1 or 2 times. After like 20 times over a long period of time, they finally said, if we keep doing this, you're going to have to use your personal leave now. This is not going to be a company policy anymore.
They can't afford it, yeah.
And all of a sudden, those threats stopped coming.
Yeah.
Because...
And I don't mean to bring up politics because I generally don't discuss politics. But like I said, I'm living in it right now. Like I'm eating, sleeping, and breathing it. And then the
we
book
vote
wrote,
next month.
I think it's relevant because of the book. Yeah.
Yeah, and because of the
makes
book.
it super relevant. I said, let's do a topical book. I didn't mean to make it right on the nose.
It is. It was right on the nose.
If you didn't get it, then something's wrong. Because that slapped me in the face like a hard. I mean, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, this is happening now.
Basically, reading it in my 20s, I just kind of remembered, the animals overthrew the dictator, which is the human, and they have this utopia, and it's supposed to be this like everybody's equal and everybody's shared and everything's awesome. And then it devolves into another dictatorship just with a classist system where the pigs rule and all the other animals. So not human, but a pig. And at the very, very end, at least in the condensed version, it ends with showing the pigs and the humans now are in commerce with each other because with this farm, because they still need things from externally sourced that they can't grow on their farm, right? So they still need to get those things. So they're now in talking and trade with the people that they ousted, and the animal says, well, there's no real difference between the pigs and the humans now, because the pigs now started walking on their back 2 feet. They looked like the humans, and they were living in the house, and then they were talking to the people that originally they overthrew. I was like,
the last lines in the book. 12 voices were shouting in anger. Now this is in the house where the pigs are now residing, when they said animals shall never live in houses. 12 voices were shouting in anger, and they were all alike. No question now. What had happened to the faces of the pigs? The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man again, but already it was very impossible to say which was which.
Exactly.
And,
That's
like,
what
the
I'm
one
saying.
line I
Like,
think everybody remembers is we're all equal, but others are more equal.
Others are, yeah, some are more equal than others.
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying. For one, when 20 years ago, our political system was very different. You know, that was back when they were just starting to put out the negative ads on TV. Do you remember that? Like, that was when that was really
Muckraking.
ramping up.
Mudslinging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But when they went to debate, they actually did talk about the,
Actually had a debate,
yes, they
Yes.
actually
a legitimate
rebuttals.
debate.
And
That's
now it's
because
just,
there were still people that remembered debates before TV. Before TV, there wasn't a time limit. They would say, how are you going to solve the problem with expensive housing? How are you going to house people? And you have until you figure it out. Go. And they would
right. That's
stay
what,
for days and days. And
and
it's not
now
like
it's not
that anymore.
even, it's not even mudslinging ads anymore. Now it's just, it's like name calling. It's so
Yes.
silly and childish.
Oh.
Like Veronica said, I've already missed it now, but she said it's really comical. Oh, there it is. It's comical how ridiculous our elections have become.
It is. And it's comical when you've got someone that speaks, you know, probably at a sophomore in college level, debating with somebody who speaks at a third grade elementary school level. And it was just so imbalanced.
Yeah, so I'm living that right now. Like I will be living that until November the 3rd. Then I will, you know, that.
Well, one of the reasons why we can't actually talk about this and like generally actually talk about this is because nobody actually talks about it. It's when you start talking about something, somebody will take offense and then it'll become a personal to me. Now you're a horrible human being because you believe in this. I go, no, I didn't say anything about believing nothing. I'm just talking about the issue.
Right.
You know, and you can't have a conversation because people get
Off
so
the issues.
angry. And what about this, and this? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, but
That's
this
the thing.
one issue, this one thing, can we talk about this one thing, not about the 50 other things he might have done wrong? Or she or he or they? I don't care. It's like, can we just talk about this one little issue that nobody can come to a consensus on? And it's because of that. You know?
Yeah.
So I want to bring this up because this happened to me yesterday. Not going to say any names. I'm just going to give you what happened, right? It was an Instagram thing. Someone messaged me, but okay, I support a business and I support them via my Instagram stories. Just a side note. So somebody that I've known for a very long time said, I can't believe you would support that POS because they support this candidate, right?
Right.
Okay, so I've never heard that person that owns that business take any political stance whatsoever. And I've known them for 15 years. So, of course, you know me, I was like, before I comment back, let me go back and do my research just to make sure I hadn't missed a post. I did miss a post. But this is what was said versus what was heard, okay? They said, no matter your political view, I do not support violence against anyone. That's what was said. How do you decide who is the candidate that they are supporting based on that?
That's a general statement. I
It's
don't
a
believe in
generalized
violence against anyone.
It's a
statement.
general statement.
Yeah.
So I commented back.
So
I was like,
assuming means that they already it's already in their heads. You know what I mean?
it's a preconceived notion.
Well,
It's a preconceived
Well, let's
notion.
take it away from politics and let's just talk about one word, Balenciaga.
Should I put that on the
OMG.
screen?
Well, because like Dale's Addiction, she got a lot of crap for her video. And we
Did
know
she?
about Craig's, you know, it's like
Yes.
this is a company.
He turned off the
There's a lot
comments.
of people. There's a lot of people involved in this. I understand if you are totally against the campaign. I get that. But you shouldn't be attacking other people who have made a choice to support this company if they want to. They might not even know about the scandal, and it's not your job to sit there and school them on the scandal. It's like it was a campaign that got pulled. You know,
everybody thinks it's their job to police the world right now because
Yeah.
of social media and all that. And,
And I thought I made my position. I made my position very, very clear in the beginning of that video.
No cancel culture.
And I'm
Yes.
not going to discuss that with you. I made it clear. This is how I feel, and that's that. I got so many. I mean, God, it was awful. It was awful.
And in Dale's video, she goes, I got a lot. She said it really well. She's I'll have to address that in another video. And I'm like, yeah, I can imagine. Because it was just the backlash you got. I mean, those ladies over in Australia get a lot of backlash in general.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Hey, but let me tell you a secret. That video's at 3,500 views. So y'all keep on talking about it, okay?
Your video is?
The thing is, they're saying.
Yeah, the Balenciaga just hit 3,500 views.
I don't think I have a single video that has done that, Craig. Not one thing on my entire channel.
No, me.
Yay!
I have 3 videos that have gone over 2K. One was the Balenciaga. One was my the Louis Vuitton. What is it? The sack thing.
Atlantic.
What is it called? Yeah, the
Atlantic. Atlantis. That
one's over 2,500, and my Burrow video got over 2,000 views.
Yeah.
Y'all just keep talking about me. Keep attacking me. Just keep watching.
I think that was the thing I was going to say too, is about like the trolls, and the thing about trolls are just like a general term of keyboard warriors, who's people. I think people are so frustrated in the public sphere of everything that they're coming onto YouTube and they're just venting, and they're just attacking people because they can, because they're upset and nobody else is listening, and that's a statement that they can say, hey, look, and the thing about like Balenciaga or any of the other luxury houses, and people are saying it's almost like we're in the anti-luxury mode, and in the luxury YouTube land, everyone's talking about pre-loved or shopping your closet, being more mindful. I mean, because of the economy, I get that. But at the same time, people watch YouTube to escape. And then you watch the escapism, you watch the luxury content, and then you criticize the luxury content creator. It's like...
That's a lot of it.
Or that's a lot of it. Why are you watching it?
A lot of people that do this stuff, that say this shit, they say, I'm sorry, I'm going to curse for a minute. These weak-minded, spineless that attack you for having an opinion, or that attack you any way, size, shape, form online, they have no spine. Come, because they would never say that to somebody in the street, because they get knocked the hell out. And that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in every niche too. It's like the perfume people, the bag people, the whatever niche you like to enjoy and watch it, it's there. It's like, and it's just crazy insane the amount of like. Okay, so I was saying that I don't make thumbnails, and I don't do a lot of what you're supposed to do on YouTube, guys. I just don't do it. And they said, oh, well, to grow and to succeed and to be more views, you have to. And that's true, if that's your goal. That's never been my goal. My goal has always been to make friends. And I'm like, I don't want to grow too fast. I want to make friends. I want people to watch my content because they want to hang out with me, not because they want to see this it bag and they never see you again. Because that's what happens,
I started out. I was going to try to stay as neutral as possible because I didn't want to offend anybody. Right? That's where I was going initially, until I started getting all the trolls and the hate, and I was like, absolutely effing not. I'm going to come for your throat. If you're coming for mine, I'm coming for yours. I'm going to tell you my opinion. You either like it, you don't. If you're my friend, I appreciate you and I love you. If you're not, back the F off. I'm done.
Hi, Saya. By the way, Saya just joined the chats.
By the way, Saya,
grand old time.
That was pretty funny.
I almost said the F word out loud. That would have been really bad. We would have just had to shelf this one.
That's okay. I did a really cheap thing.
Political
I could,
commentary, Balenciaga, and Craig's cussing.
while we were talking there, I have my studio pulled up on my laptop, and I added to it Sunday Chats with Craig and Jolie, guest star Jackie / Balenciaga
slash Animal Farm / electoral discussion.
Oh my goodness.
Enter with
All the
caution.
controversial. Enter all the controversial items.
I am.
And that's okay. I mean, we could have differing opinions. We're allowed to have differing opinions. What I
Absolutely.
get upset with is that people get so they get so angry. They stop listening. There is no conversation. They're just sitting there on their soapbox talking about what they believe. They never even listened. And guys, I'm a person who started out in life, and I'll tell you my political affiliations because I don't give a crap. But I started out as a Republican. My dad was in the military. I live in Texas. This is a red
military
state.
Republican here.
Yeah, and I'm not anymore. I'm not. But
I'm
at the
NPA.
time, but
We are NPAs.
I vote both ways. I vote for the topic. I vote for the thing. I vote for a lot of things. I just don't. I vote for what's the best option, not the best. Because I'm not married to this political party.
Right.
Me either. And as an independent, this is where I stand. I want to have these discussions because I think it's if you think you know everything, you quit learning. Yes. I don't want you in my life because I personally feel that you never know everything if you're not continuously learning. So I want to have, adult, intelligent discussions with people who can discuss with me. Show me your opinion. Show me your proof. I will give you mine, and let's have a discussion about it. And we either, and leave whatever. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of editing myself for public consumption. If you're not ready for Craig, I appreciate your patronage, but we'll see you next time.
They're not ready for prime time player.
I honestly say I voted both ways. I can go either way. So people who come, my sister votes one way, I vote another way. My husband and I counter each other's votes for a good 10 years. So it's like this happens in everybody's household. So it's like, but nobody talks about it.
Not between me and him. Between me and my parents, yes.
Yeah.
Which it's the only reason that I'm so passionate about it right now is there is that family division. So
yeah.
Well,
it tears families apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday. I was like, when I was talking to this individual, I was like, I hate times like these. I hate electoral years because of this shit right here. Everybody's torn. It tears families and friendships apart. So that's why I had just, stopped talking about my political views. But I'm done with that. If you can have a conversation with me about it, and we can discuss it, I'm great. But if you can't and you want to just attack me for my views, then I appreciate you, but I got to go. But I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of being attacked all the time because of my opinion. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm independent. I vote for the lesser of two evils, who I think can get anything done at this point. It's not about who can do more. I'm just wanting anything accomplished.
That's why I say just vote. I don't care who you vote for. Anybody, just get your opinion heard. And I don't care if it's contrary to mine. The point is, not enough people are actually voting. It's a minority that is actually causing everything to happen in our country because there's a lot of people who are just apathetic.
And that's part of democracy. That's democracy. There's different opinions. That's what democracy is. You discuss the opinions, and whoever wins, right? I mean, I don't understand why there has to be so much anger.
Confusion. We won't call it anger. We'll call it confusion when you go over to a relative's house, and I won't say who. And you go over to a relative's house, and they're flying the rebel flag, and you are like, "You're from Indiana." Like, what? When did this become a thing? It's very confusing.
It is.
I just want us to get back to a time where FTV, right? Nobody watches TV anyway. So let's get back to a time where when they do their debates, there's actually enough time for each side to talk about what they're going to do. You cannot describe what you're going to do about the housing crisis in 1 minute and 1.5 minutes. There's no way. It's 90 seconds, people. My brain
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
start till 13
There's-
seconds in.
All you can do in 90 seconds is avoid the question. You got plenty of time to avoid the question.
Smoke screens. Yeah.
So everything's
I
done online
honestly-
now. So let's have our debates online. And if people want to
Yeah.
watch for 4.5 hours, then they watch. If they turn off after 30 minutes, they turn off after 30. I want to see people discuss what they're going to do.
Exactly. That is a really, really good idea, and I wish they would go to that. And it'd be easier to monitor
We do that
online
for local
to
government.
moderate, because you just mute them.
Yeah, local,
And then it's your turn.
local
And look-
government does that. But like for the
Yeah.
president, you're the highest office in the land. You have a minute and a half. What are you going to do about the border? What are you? You can't even begin to start that discussion in a minute and a half.
No.
So what do? If you only have a minute and a half? You attack each other.
It's just a public opinion at this point. It's just
Yeah.
hearsay, and how can I get the most sensationalized issues talked about? And people talk about the sensationalism. They're not talking about the issue. Yeah.
So there's an issue going on in Tennessee this election that they are trying to dissolve my marriage that I've been in for damn near 20 years because, I don't matter and I don't count. So I want to know, when are you going to stop taking my damn money for taxes, since my opinion doesn't matter and doesn't count?
Exactly.
Wow.
Or my marriage doesn't matter and doesn't count? Because
That's
I pay a lot of money in taxes. I'm not going to say how much, but I pay too much money for them to be telling me that I don't matter.
you pay
I
more
know.
taxes as a married person, to be honest.
That's very concerning, and I hope that your people do the right thing.
Well, there's a lot of us fabulous family people down here, so I'm hoping we can strike that down. If
Yes.
not, I'm going to have to move.
Right.
I don't blame you, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's on there. Right, it's right
Can
underneath
you
the
imagine
abortion.
the paperwork? Can you imagine the paperwork that's going, if that, hypothetically speaking, if that passes, the amount of paperwork that's going to happen, all levels?
Millions. It will cost millions of dollars to dissolve
Mhm.
our marriages.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
What purpose does it? What does it do? So you're going to lose money in tax dollars too, because I'm then going to be a single person.
You pay more in taxes as a married person. And I'm thinking and let's say like things like insurance or credit cards, things like that, finances that are tied in together that are in different states. They're going to have to now make an amendment for the state, this has to be different. And now you have to pull things apart. That's just why divorces cost thousands and getting married costs like $50.
Yep.
Well,
It's
it
really
sounds
hard
more
to untie people.
because the fact that you have that marriage doesn't change anything for anybody but you. But
That's all it is.
if they dissolve all those
changes the
marriages,
rights.
the money they're gonna make, which is exactly why they're doing it.
And not only that, the money they're going to spend. The money they're going to spend dissolving all the marriages. There's people that it has to go through all these different steps to even get done. But whatever.
The HR nightmare. The HR
Literally-
nightmare on that.
Literally on the ballot, it's about gay marriage, abortion, and then it starts with the political stuff. And I'm like, well, at least we're top of the heap, right?
I thought this was all settled. This stuff has been settled for years, and it doesn't need to be on the ballots anymore. And it got thrown back to the states because of the idiot.
Yeah. Just like everything else. Did you see that Biden's team, not Biden himself, found a loophole for the abortion? Did you see that?
No.
No.
Okay, so somebody on his team actually found a law that precedes Roe versus Wade, and it states that if any state agency arrests or holds any doctor or nurse, any medical personnel in contempt of the law for doing an abortion to save the mother's life or whatever, it has to be an emergency situation, right?
Right.
If they will then be held accountable because they're breaking a federal law. They cited the law and everything. So it technically, just say a nurse and a doctor perform an abortion. I probably shouldn't be saying the word, but whatever. Perform one, and then somebody calls the police. Own them for doing so. If the police go and arrest that doctor and nurse, then the police officers who arrested them and whoever wrote the arrest warrant for them will be held in. They're breaking a federal law.
It's one of the reasons I don't want to go back to the OR. A D&C and a D&E are very, very common procedures. And I don't want to just be doing my regular nurse duty and not know that someone is pregnant or whatever, or that it hasn't been deemed by the proper authorities as to whether or not a D&E or a D&C can be performed. And here I am with my name on the record, and now all of a sudden I'm going to jail just for doing my job.
Yeah,
it's not worth it in Florida. I'm done.
but here's the thing: we have been living. Area. We've been living with those laws for decades at this point. And I don't understand why we're backpedaling. Why are we going backwards? We're supposed to be moving forward, not backwards.
You know, when the Pope was being more progressive, it's kind of like, oh.
We're digressing at this point, not progressing. Just saying.
Anyway.
Hey, what are we going to do for the movie of the week? Movie of the week.
Movie of the week. Movie of the week.
Anybody have any suggestions?
Are we still
suggestions
doing
for the movie of the week? What'd you say, Jack?
We're still doing spooky Halloween movies, right?
That's what I was going with since it's that time of year. But that we don't have to stick to that. Is anybody still in the room? Did we piss everybody off?
We have actually more people in the room. Apparently.
When I get into that, this is why I don't talk about it more than I do, because I get so entrenched in it that everything else just disappears. Like I see red like a bull.
I get you. Oh, so are there any happy, funny Halloween movies that we want to do for next week?
Yeah, I want to watch Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I love Hocus Pocus. The original, not the second one.
I like the second one too.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch the first and the second one and talk about the difference between them or something, because everybody's seen it.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Hocus Pocus.
All right. So we'll do Hocus Pocus 1 and 2.
Well, there's 6 hours of your life this week, people. Enjoy.
And it will be a fun 6 hours.
Oh, let me put a banner up.
And then we've got our book decided. Look at us. We had a political discussion and debate. Why can't our the people who are running for election, we accomplished more in this hour of this video than they have in the past 3 months.
Yes. Hocus Pocus. Is it called Hocus Pocus 2? I don't even know because I haven't seen it.
You can type in Hocus Pocus 2 and it'll bring it up, but it has a little title underneath it.
Okay.
Well, Fiona says she's never seen Hocus Pocus. What? Oh, I love your bag, Craig.
Okay, let's get some more comments back up here. We are doing Hocus Pocus. Very good. Talking about, let's see here. Chicken soup, sick family. Hope they get better, Christiana.
My sister's family is sick too. Her little one has pneumonia. And she's not feeling well now. And I said, Jenny, go get a COVID test. And she's like, what? I'm like, Jenny,
I have to go to the bathroom.
Test.
Okay.
I'm like, go get a COVID test. Don't go to the theater. She's supposed to go to the theater tonight. I'm like, Jenny, if you're not feeling well and your kid has pneumonia. I think this is from Craig.
What's happening?
His earphones disconnected.
Oh, are we going to hear him go to the bathroom? He left his earphones laying there. You think?
You can mute his audio, I think.
Okay, I'm going to mute him. See if that works. All right. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works.
When he comes back,
we'll unmute him. Yeah, see, people didn't run away. We have like 16 people in the building. Yeah.
So Craig sent me a message and he said, did you get that bag or did Jackie get it?
You got it, because I went to go buy it. Well, I'll take the beat up one. Well, what was wrong with the one you had?
Nothing was wrong with the one I had except it didn't have the pocket. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. Unmute you, Greg. You were making us echo with whatever you did. What's wrong with this? It's got something in here, but we're still echoing because of Craig.
Yeah. It just needs to reconnect.
Okay. Nope.
I love that look. That look Craig just gave me.
This gives he has to take his earphones off, put them back in the case, take them back out again.
Earbud. Exactly.
There we go.
Mother.
Yep.
Sorry, I could not hold it any longer. I was literally rocking.
This one is it has something in the pocket,
but
it doesn't smell. And
it came in. That's the one I sent you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't smell, and it looks like it's kind of rough. So it looks like it's never even been attempted to be cleaned. So I will clean it and see if it comes out.
I cleaned the bag.
But the rest of the bag's great, right?
Oh yeah, I know it is definitely.
This one.
But I just took the piece that mine was missing, and put it over into the one I already had.
So this one, I took off the chap. So one chap was missing, and this one I just took it off.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't need it. And my friend who sold this to me goes, I'll send you the other replacement. I'm like, no, I'm happy with it as a top handle. It's the Belmont. No, Beaumont. I think it's Beaumont. And I just did a saddle soap, and then I used Sarna on it. And this stuff is awesome. This stuff is what Jolee recommended when she was doing what was it you used this on? The Winnie bag, right?
I use that on glove tan leather. So that is designed for baseball gloves, and it's designed not to discolor it and not to add weight. And when it dries, it dries the same color as whatever you put it you put it on. It doesn't change the color.
Hi, Jane.
And
so this is the bag I was working on yesterday, and I cleaned the inside. I used the suede cleaner on the interior to the back side to the leather. So
excellent.
I just cleaned on the sides, and it had a little bit of a smoky odor, but by cleaning the backside of the suede, anything with a fibrous textile kind of like suede is the fiber nap. It hangs on to odor. So the smooth leather is actually pretty easy to clean. It's always the lining that's going to absorb everything, and even if the lining is just this, just by cleaning this, it takes away a lot of the odor.
I would imagine so, because I wouldn't think that the glove tan on the other side would absorb the odor as well as that anything with tooth.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Marianne. Hey, Michael.
Okay, so we know that what our movie of the week for next week is Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, or just whatever you want to watch. And the book is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches.
And I'm trying to figure out, we'll discuss the book on October the 27th. That'll be a full 4 weeks. So
okay, thank you.
Let me put that in my calendar.
27th.
That's good. It's right before Halloween.
Yes.
That's when we're going to dress up, right?
On the 27th? Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be our dress up day.
Okay.
I can wear a hat. It's a Mickey Mouse hat.
November 3rd, since we're not November 3rd, Jolie, not November 3rd. Let me get my calendar.
October.
Since we're doing housekeeping right now. Housekeeping. November 17th. I won't be here for a live, so I'm getting a birthday present from a friend who is taking me to see a share show. Not Cher,
We
but
could-
some show about Cher.
Oh,
Craig and I can toast. Craig and I can just go together.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. We'll take care of the live that day. You just go and enjoy the share show.
I can't believe Cher is still touring. That woman does not stop.
She's never going to stop. When the world ends, there will be cockroaches and share. That's it.
Oh, poor
Her
Helena says we should try a Harry Potter marathon. Oh, that's awesome. You know, but is that
Helena,
your favorite
I agree with
Maggie
you.
Smith movie?
I agree.
Yeah.
You may tell you a secret. We have a Harry Potter marathon in this house every other week. We watch every movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're Potter heads in this house.
Oh,
Well,
that's so
you should
great
look
because
at
I
the,
am too.
The Kipling bags right now have a Harry Potter Kipling collab. You might want to go look at them.
Really?
Shut your face.
Mhm.
Really?
The little pochettes are so adorable.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, definitely going to be going over there. Thanks, Jackie.
This music gives
Well,
I get a little exercise from the music because I sit here and do this the entire time, and my back's just like, stop moving, you fat boy.
Oh.
Okay.
Here we go. The next collab, Helena. We're going to go over to Kipling and get some Harry Potter stuff. We'll be texting.
Probably gonna get the pochette. I've thrown the bags in and out, but I think the little pochette thing is just so adorable. And I have one. Where is that? Here.
You have
This
one.
is this is the style that the pochette comes in. So this is what this little
That's the
thing
little
is.
artsy.
Yes, and it has a 3-compartment interior.
Yeah,
So-
I have some of those.
Yeah. So this is what the little Harry Potter is, black, and it has like each of the houses. So
What
there's
are
the
those?
Gryffindor, Slytherin,
Let's see.
Hufflepuff. So and then it has, yeah,
Oh, I'm looking
But-
it up
and they
right now,
have
of course.
a cross.
Oh, I love you, Liz.
Like,
Sorry, I'm trying to talk to the chats while y'all talk about pochettes.
yeah.
Can I tell you a secret?
What? It's not gonna
Everybody's
be a
gonna-
secret if you tell us.
Everybody, yeah, well, that's the whole point. Because when does a secret ever stay a secret?
Never.
I have zero desire to buy anything. Like anything. I don't care. I just don't want it. I ordered this charm because I felt bad because I didn't do it when I was supposed to have done it. So I went ahead and ordered that. But I was like, I don't have I like no bags. I have zero interest in buying even clothes. I don't even want to buy clothes right now.
I'm kind of feeling the same way. But if it's cheap enough, I'll get something. But to be
I'm very
honest with
uninspired.
I am uninspired. To tell you the truth, if I want a really good bag, Craig has totally ruined me on bags.
Well, that's what I was fixing to say. Like in my opinion, I have the good bags.
I
So
do.
I don't have a desire to buy anything else. And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be that way.
I should pile all my bags back here behind me and maybe show all my bags at some point so that people understand I don't need another bag. And now I just keep rotating through the same ones. I'm going to go through my Speedies. I'm going to go through my Reed Craykoffs, and I'm going to carry these Doonies, these Doonies that I traded with Jackie because they're awesome and the ones I've been looking for. Everything else is packed away because I'm not using it. So
that's probably going to be the only bag I'm going to get by the end of the year because I'm not buying it. Travis is going to buy it for me. He's going to get me the Pinon for Christmas. So other than that,
Yay!
I could not make myself spend over retail. But you know what I can do?
Uh-huh.
I can make him pay over retail.
And he did technically get a birthday gift for you because it didn't work out. So yeah, it works.
And I have an Hermes bag, and I have a Chanel bag, and I have plenty of Louis Vuitton bags. What am I doing?
What Hermes bag do you have? We've never had this discussion.
Oh, I just bought an old beat up garden party because I wanted to see the
Oh, okay,
quality
yeah.
of the leather.
I forgot the
Yeah,
garden party.
and
That's
then
the reason I started
put
following you in the
patches all
first
over.
place
Then I
with
put
your
patches
garden
all
party
over
video. I love
my
that bag.
$239 garden party. Thank you very much.
I love that bag. I love the garden party specifically because you can that bag you can literally make it reflects your personality if you want it to. You can
It's my
put
Gen X
patches on
bag.
it, you can put pins on it, you can beat the dog shit out of it, and it's still gonna be a great bag.
Oh, and I have this one. This is oh, I lost my earpiece. Hold on. I have a bunch of stuff on hooks over here. Anyway.
Or Helena, don't let Hermes
And then,
intimidate you.
hold on, I can't hear. My ears fell out. When I went to get my remember the story of my Louis Vuitton Speedy 35, the Epi leather one? Then I had the lining. Well, inside that bag, I knew I was going to leave my bag there, regardless of if they were going to charge me for it or whatever. And so inside that bag, I carried, maybe I've already told you this, I carried this one and I just love this bag.
The Vivian?
It's a Vivian. Let me go. Here.
I love crap. Oh my God, I need that.
I love that.
That is totally my vibe. James would agree.
And it has snaps.
I love
rolls.
crap. Oh my God.
It's a roll-away bag. So you roll it up and snap it. And I had it in the bottom of my bag. And she goes, "Do you need a bag to put your stuff in?" And I said, "Oh no, there's one in here." And I unrolled this and took it out.
I saw one on Instagram the other day, and it suited my personality to a T, but I didn't buy it because I don't feel like I want to buy anything. But it said, "I hate dumb effing people," and I was like, "Oh shit, that's me in a bag."
If this was the perfect bag, it would say, "I love crap and mean people suck" on the backside.
Yep. Yep.
Here it is. I bought this legitimately to wear to the office.
Yes. Be kind.
Aww.
I bought this to wear to my office because it was so toxic and it was so vicious that I would just walk around with this hat on. It's like, "Okay, guys, hi, how you doing?"
How's that working out for you? Are they being any nicer?
But they do it away from me. And that's all really, but honestly, that's all I care about. Take it off the production floor. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Someone asked me the other day, they said, "Why did you stop saying your tagline at the end?" I was like, "Because I haven't made videos in forever. That's because I don't say it on all my lives, but I say it on my video. So if I'm not making a video, where am I going to say it at?"
I think I'm going to make my tagline: "Never underestimate the power of stupid people in large numbers." I'm just kidding.
Amen to that shit.
See, we know that. We already know this.
Okay, so never underestimate the power of kindness. It really can make a difference, and that is something to live by.
Well, you never know what people are going through, and everybody's going, as Craig says, we're all going through something. And normally when I get a lot of like hate coming my way or whatever, I kind of always want to wonder, like, what's up with your life that you have to feel like you have to share this negativity? It's like,
and it's hard to do that in the moment because everybody is going through shit, right? And I'm gonna say shit about 1,000 times on here evidently today, but whatever. But everybody's going through shit, right? So I live by that motto that I say, but I have a really difficult time in one specific place, and that is Walmart. Let me tell you why. I will be I'll be limping through the store with my little buggy, right? And I'm like, "Oh, excuse me." I get nothing in return, right? "Oh, how are you?" "Excuse me." I get nothing in return. I do about 3 before I get pissed. And then on the third one, I'm like, "Okay, F you too. F you too." Like, I'm the person that truly believes in being kind, but I can only take so much too. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yesterday we went yesterday, and I was like, I'm not saying that shit to nobody today. How about everybody in that store that walked in front of me said, "Oh, excuse me." I was like, look at God showing up, because I said I ain't saying that shit today, and every single person was like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry." I was like, so I just need it back every once in a while. That's it. I can't help it.
I don't even go to Walmart because it's so stressful. The being in the Walmart is stressful. I don't blame the workers for being grumpy.
I stopped going to Walmart after I left Seminole County. The Daytona one scared me, and the I haven't even been to the one out here in Marion County because I'm actually scared to go there. It's just me. I'm real uncomfortable there, so I don't go.
And if you have other options, there's nothing wrong with that. Which I have other options too, but if I'm going to need something that, just say I need a few little groceries, I'm not driving all the way into the city. I'm going to go to Walmart and pick up what I need. I'm going to be extremely upset, but I'm going to do it.
For me, Winn-Dixie is closer and Publix is closer.
I have not heard Winn-Dixie in about 25 years.
Winn-Dixie's my closest grocery.
We used to have those in Tennessee, but they all closed down.
Oh, did they lose Dixie?
Yeah. In Louisiana, we had one that had a Food Line. Is that what it was? Food Line?
Oh, God. The ones that got accused of bleaching their meat.
Yeah.
We had those too. They're not here anymore.
I always said you'd bleach your meat too if you could.
Where's Winnie when we need her?
She was.
Did she pop in and out?
She sent me a text. She got embarrassed and left.
Wow, what did I say?
No, just kidding.
She said she was saying, she texted me earlier that her cell service has been out where they're at.
Yeah. There's cell service out all over the Southeast right now.
Yeah. So she has Instagram. You have internet, but no cellular. I don't get it. I don't know. I know nothing. I think she has a fiber optics now. Yeah.
We've been on here an hour and a half, so
yeah, we should probably wrap it up. All right, so we got the book going at the bottom. We're gonna watch Hocus Pocus, and that's all we need to really worry about for next week. And everybody showed their bag of the day, and I had some stuff that I'm going to reorder. I'm going to reorder this stuff. This is the I don't know what it. See, all this stuff rubbed off of it, so I got to try to find it again. That's that stuff that Winnie showed. It's like $9, but it's got all the different colors and it evens out your skin tone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I'll have to buy another one of these soon, which I don't want to. But if anybody knows of a really good eyebrow set that works well, that has the brush and everything in this lighter color that doesn't cost, how much are these? $45?
Too much. Chanel.
Hey, Jolee. On TikTok right now, there's a couple of people pushing this new eyebrow pencil that's like that. They're like $5, and like everybody says they're great.
All right. You'll have to send me I'll have to join TikTok. And this is still my favorite. This is a little one. I'm going to get more of it. It's just Maybelline. I've tried everything. I've tried all different kinds. That's still my favorite.
Speaking of that, did you try the Amber room sprays yet?
I didn't know she had room sprays.
And they are really good.
I actually have. This is my last melt.
Oh, yep, that's a good one too. They had the room spray in 1989, but you know how when you spray. Okay, I'm going to use this as how to explain it. You know when you go to the bathroom and you poo and you spray the spray and it smells like poo covered in flowers?
Yeah.
I'm just saying it. Her
Somebody
spray
shit in the flower bed.
Exactly. I don't know what it is about her spray, but it doesn't do that. It literally cleans the air. Like that smell will just dissipate and all you're going to smell is the spray.
Well, knowing Christina, she probably used something that we actually have something in the medical field that we use in endo when we do colonoscopies. It's a spray, and it somehow chemically takes down it's like it binds with it and takes it down, so you can't smell it.
That's how she described it. It scrubs the air. It scrubs
Yes.
that smell out of the air. It's really good. It's like all of her products. They're all natural and clean, so it's a little
Yeah.
pricey, but it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I only order from her once or twice a year because they are pricey, but they're good.
You know, you can share your code on all your social medias, and anybody that clicks on your code earns points for you towards free products, right?
Oh, I need that. I no, I did not know that, and I will
Log
do
into the
that. I
app,
never take
and
advantage of any of this stuff. I don't know why.
when you log into the app or the website, go to your profile, and you'll see you have a code that you can share, and you earn points towards free stuff.
All right, I will do it. All
That's
right,
why I share
everybody,
the hell out of it. All right,
let's say goodbye.
bye.
Bye.